Nicht.
Ja, warum nicht?
Na gut, aber.
Zu spät. Das ist Kohlholz,
Brikett.
Brikett.
Aber der Tierarzt musste das Bein amputieren. Der Löwe wurde mit Antibiotika behandelt und anfangs auch mit Futter versorgt.
Bedeutet man kann, that means you can smoke here. When I film, I'll speak English.
Okay.
And here is Pupsi. Pupsi denkt, she's always thinking about food.
Tutilo schaltet das Rotlicht ein. Löwen können dieses Spektrum nicht wahrnehmen und werden daher nicht abgelenkt.
Das ist okay, dass ich filme alles?
Einer der Löwen hat offenbar eine Antilope erlegt. Der Rudelführer dafür immer als erster an die Beute.
I have nothing to hide.
She says it's okay, I can film everything. She has nothing to hide. Sie sagte das auf
Das
Deutsch.
Weibchen nähert sich zögernd. Es muss warten, bis das Männchen satt ist.
Here's the machinery that I carried across Holland and and Germany in the suitcase, and a bandsaw. Maybe I filmed this before. That's why everything was so heavy, but I got it here. And for the party, Saturday night's party, Thomas has and Shirley have 3 of these 30-liter kegs. Although we drank a lot last night. This is the kitchen that Shirley uses most of the time. It's so nice that I'm allowed to film everything. This is their private world, but everything is so perfect and clean and so nice. Later I'll film the whole house. There's so much to film here. This is in Hemmoor, but so I don't even know what I'm going to film. But I thought I'd show the way those vines have been knit together on that house. I don't think that's true. That's not true Fachwerk. That's pretend up there, but the vines. We're in Stade, and Thomas or Shirley or both have already filmed this for me. This is an old city near Hemmoor. But some things that they didn't film, I'll film. For example, this paving. There they go. There's Thomas and Shirley. Ich denke, sie würde dies lieben. Bremen. Ich habe fast in Bremen gehalten. Ich dachte, dass es Hamburg Harbor war. Ja. Okay. Thomas has already filmed this, but I gotta film it again. We'll see lots of Fachwerk, I'm sure, but still, we're in Stade. I was telling Shirley and Thomas that I like the fact that this timber is crooked. It was crooked, but that was no problem because it matched the street. They just built to it. That's what I call good work. And then Thomas pointed out that this is new. This is new Fachwerk. It might be too windy for you to hear me here. I'm trying to stand around the corner. But I wanted to point out those washers. Those are in effect, those iron pieces are in effect washers that hold the tower together. I've seen them elsewhere, especially in Amsterdam. See the timber? Once again, it's not straight, but it was not a problem. Well, no, wait, that's... Yeah, no, that's been... Yeah, I don't know. It looks like that's been pieced together. That's so interesting. They built up a column. I guess you probably understood what they did. Okay, if you're not lucky enough to have friends like I have here, here's a hotel where you can stay. The hotel at the fish market in Stade. Und hier is the crane. Here's the crane. Okay, we'll look at that real soon. There's the main bearing, and this is the beam. Look at that. We're inside that crane, and that pivots. And this was how they would unload their ships. We'll go outside and look. So it worked because there was one massive bearing, or there is one massive bearing right there in stone, and up at the top, all this building has to hold the bearing up there. We'll go outside and look. But maybe I could also. Oh well, there's too much to. This is the way it looks on the outside. I was saying that something I like about Fachwerk timber framing. It looks like it's falling down, but it's really no problem. I saw an extreme example of that in Canterbury, England, one time. They're working on this canal. Maybe the wind is a problem. And the sun's going to be a problem too. Maybe if I can come over here, you can see the crane if I get out there. There we go. Maybe you can see it now. It's so cool. In order to keep it dry, look at that massive stonework that in the way back in time they put that there. But in order to keep it dry, here's the dam. With pumps, of course. The facade is one thing, and then there's what the building itself is. Now it's interesting that that's yellow. So often it's white, but not always. And of course that's what they use to hoist stuff up. Stade. Thomas and I are discussing whether or not this was bombed. You know, so much of this area was just destroyed in World War II, and I say it couldn't have been bombed because I don't think they could have rebuilt all this stuff. But he's not so sure. We're going to find out. Once again, you see how crooked that building is. But with Fachwerk, it really doesn't matter. It's still perfectly strong. It'll last another 500 years. Even the garage back there is built that way. Now that looks like it's newer building, but it's just a good way to build. And I'll remind you that when I was in Vitoria, Spain, that city was all plaster, but underneath the plaster was timber framing. I wanted to show you some details here. One thing, these pegs, how they were made. They were not driven through a hole. They were probably, well, that's a number. And here's a number to show how to put it together. There's another number. They look like Roman numerals, but actually I think these numbers, it was a different numbering system. This is newer construction, and the wood has shrunk, and they plastered it in. It all over the place it shrunk. I don't. Yeah. See. This is much newer construction. It's timber framing, but that shrinkage, it happened. You see, it's still going on. And they don't have I don't see the numbers either. That's a lap joint. I just also noticed that there's no pegs. There's no pegs in this. Maybe this is false. Well, no, they're beams. Pretty clearly, they're beams, but that isn't. I'll bet that's not actually joined together. That's probably nailed or bolted. Much, not nearly as good a work. Now this is new. You can see by the saw marks that was sawed on a bandsaw, but still it was well done. Here's a washer. I don't know if you can see because of the sun. Okay, we were looking at this, and the upper part is clearly old. There's no doubt about that. But the lower part seems newer. And well, for example, there, underneath there must be a piece of steel that's begun to rust or something. And that would support Thomas's idea that, yes, this probably was bombed. We're going to find that out. I have never seen a roof like that one right over there. What's coming down off of there? Never have I seen that. Okay, I'm about ready to accept what Thomas has said. This city probably was very heavily damaged, but I think what they did is they used what timbers they could. This is just my theory, and put them back, and then had to build a lot new. I mean, the lower part here is old, and the upper part is newer. 1660. I forgot. I wanted to point out the shoulders that were cut into the timbers for bearing. This is such a mix of new and old. But here the shoulders are deeper there, and up above they don't have shoulders. So einfach und so gut.
Hello, Frank. How are you doing? We are in the underground of Stade, and we have seen a lot of wonderful buildings.
Yeah.
And what did you see else? What else did you see?
I saw a wonderful German couple.
Okay. And you heard a lot of music. playing in the streets of Stade, and we are wondering about the buildings, if they were destructed in the World War or not.
And we're going to Google it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hier ist etwas anders, aber ich möchte zeigen, dass dies kommt aus Marokko und hier aus Türkei und hier aus Spain. Costa Rica. Costa Rica. This is what they burn in their wood burner. Brown coal briquettes. But it's not charcoal, it's brown coal. It's heavy. That would be about $9, $8 for that.